scored a stunning upset in March in the Republican Pennsylvania district, saying he would oppose Pelosi. There is that. The clamor for change at the top underscores the generational tensions within the House caucus, as younger lawmakers not only to look to replace Pelosi, but the other two septuagenarians, as the Washington Post puts it, Minority Whip Steny Hoyer and Assistant Democratic Leader James Clyburn of South Carolina, 78 and 77 years old, respectively. Both very old people. Pelosi stands as pretty much the Democratic conundrum. Pelosi stands as a Democratic conundrum. She's a prolific fundraiser, and that's pretty much about it. And that's a very, very important skill to have. Sadly, in today's Washington, but there is this situation that really I have a problem. This was the last part of his article. She's apparently, as well as a deeply polarizing figure, used by Republicans as a club against Democrats. So the dynamics set the stage for a potential showdown. And it really shouldn't, because if the situation is that they care about their leader, they're supposed to be a liberal Democratic Party, and they really care about their leader enough. So what they should do is actually use their mouths and defend Nancy Pelosi, and instead of letting her just get attacked by the Republicans, like you did this, like you and all the other Democratic leaders beforehand, they did this. They have that to account for themselves. The fact that they spent this, they did what they did here was the real problem in getting her to be this way. So, like, she has been attacked time and time again, back to points when she was actually on the liberal wing of the Democratic Party, and now she is nowhere near that wing. She's a pretty much as corporate as a Democrat as you can be. And all of a sudden you got people saying, "Oh, she's a club used for the Republicans to hit against the Democrats." Well, don't make her a club. Fight back. Say she's supposed to be liberal. Defend her record. Whatever you want to do, just do something, because you're looking like little embarrassing fools. Yeah, like, just come to that realization, please. Thank you very much. Jesus Christ. So, yeah. Nancy Pelosi says, we will win. I will run for speaker. I feel confident about it, and my members do, too. As she told the meeting of Boston Globe reporters and editors on Tuesday. Earlier at an event in New York City, she introduced several of her fellow House Democrats by highlighting which committee they will lead next year, assuming Democratic majority, which is interesting. It's kind of funny. It's important that it not be five white guys at the table. No offense, Nancy Pelosi said. I have no intention of walking away from that table. So in reference to the top leaders of the House and Senate and President Trump. So they're pretty much all white guys. In the Democratic Party, especially the DNC, which literally has a lot of diversity. It's a good thing, but it's also kind of obvious when they have someone sending out their mail or emails by the name of Shokintil Chotli. I think that's what her name is. But there is a question of whether Pelosi would have the votes to win the job. Unlike other leadership posts, which are selected by secret ballot in their respective caucuses, the entire House must vote for Speaker in early January. The minority party never gets votes from the majority's Speaker designate, so it would require Pelosi to get at least 218 votes from her side of the aisle. So if the Democrats end up with a caucus of 235, Pelosi could afford to lose 17 votes when the Speaker vote is held on the floor. And I mean, what the question is, the big question looming about this is, sure, from the progressive standpoint is, sure, there are no progressive would really be opposed to losing Nancy Pelosi as the Speaker. But the question is, who would they put in her place? Like, what would the right wing side, like the Connor Lambs of the party, what would they put in place? How would they fill the void left by Pelosi in the Speaker's position? So Yeah, that'll be the very interesting situation that we will have to deal with here. So Pelosi's strength comes from several sources. First, among equals, being her fundraising on behalf of on behalf of candidates in the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, the DCCC. Her advisors attributed 45% of the company's $34 million raised in the first quarter in 2018 to Pelosi. So she pretty much funds the operation of the Democratic Party. Sure, she does it in an unethical way, but she's very good at it, and it's an important skill to have in today's DC, unfortunately. And that's what people like Bernie Sanders and Allison Hartz and Paula Jean Swearengin are trying to change by getting money into politics and money under clean, good campaigns. And like Randy Bryce, Beto O'Rourke, they're all trying to change that as well. And I mean, if we had one of them or one of their type in as the House leader, I would not mind it at all. So there are, but there are other kind of beneath the radar concerns. Pelosi feels confident in her post. Despite the GOP claims Pelosi is not a popular issue was 8 years ago. Back then, 58% of Americans have a unfavorable view of Pelosi, including 41% which held a strongly unfavorable view. So that was like 2010 when this was happening, when the GOP was in an election campaign. The Democrats under Obama were quite weak, quite feckless, and she was being attacked, and the Democrats didn't really know how to stand up for themselves. They just were like, okay, I guess she's like really bad and liberal. But yeah, in the Washington Post ABC News poll, just 44% of Americans have now held an unfavorable view. That's pretty big drop. So more than half view her favorably, which is interesting. So yeah, that's the interesting conundrum that they are caught in. All right, so yeah, maybe nailing Pelosi wouldn't be such a bad idea, because I mean, again, I'm reading through this story, and there is no sign of any replacement being offered up by this Kill Pelosi group. So there's that you're gonna have to contend with before you want to go any further here, guys. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. Be back in a second. Alright, let's get right back to it, everyone. My name is Spencer Walsh. You're listening to a live edition of News Flash. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we really do appreciate it. And once again, you really are going to have to bear with me here, because allergies, especially in the morning, I don't wake up like I don't wake up like 3 hours before the show. It's because we do the show live every morning at 6 a.m. So it is pretty hard to wake up quite some time before the show and really get myself woken up. So I woke up like half an hour before, and when I start talking, my voice vibrates, my nasal cavities vibrate, and then somehow it just creates all this runny nose issues. So yeah, we're gonna have to try. We have been trying to limit our time that we take for break recently, but then we did kind of have to extend that today. So I do apologize for that. It'll be limited, continue to be limited in the future, but yeah, we do apologize for that. So yeah, so the EPA advisor Albert Kelly resigned amid an ethics inquiries. The question is Scott Pruitt next? So Albert Kelly, who's a senior advisor to Scott Pruitt and the EPA, resigned Tuesday. Kelly, who was overseeing the agency's Superfund program, left amid questions about his banking career. Pascal Nino Peralta, which is Pruitt's head of security, also abruptly resigned, leading many to question whether Pruitt would be next. As the Intercept reported in December, Kelly was the chair of Spirit Bank in Bristow, Oklahoma, until was banned for life from the banking industry by the FDIC, Kelly, or Kell, as he knows my friends, has provided several loans to Pruitt, according mortgages and funding for his share of a AAA baseball team, the Oklahoma City Redhawks. While Kelly was its chairman, Spirit Bank became financially unstable and unable to pay back most of its $30 million it received from the Troubled Asset Relief Program. So an FDIC consent order with Spirit Bank shows that they, in 2012, the bank agreed to several improvements to its practices and had come under scrutiny, including loans to bank executive officers, directors, and principal shareholders. So there is that drama there that they are having to contend with. In addition to making loans to Pruitt, Spirit has also loaned money to Kenneth Wagner, another senior advisor at the EPA. Wagner, who hails from Oklahoma and is a longtime business associate of Pruitt, received 4 mortgages from Spirit Bank. Spirit Bank also financed Pruitt's and Wagner's purchase of an Oklahoma City home from a lobbyist, according to the New York Times, which is something that Pruitt has gotten in trouble for from the past, purchasing homes or renting homes from lobbyists. They have been very interesting. So the FTC declined to explain exactly why Kelly was banned from banking. In January, Senator Elizabeth Warren asked Kelly to explain the reason for the ban. And last week, Don Bayer and Jerry Connolly also asked for an investigation of Kelly. So, I mean, it looks like a shocker, no surprise here. Everyone surrounded with this dude seems to have massive ethical and banking problems. So we got Kelly here. We got the head of security who was like, ugh, a little bit problematic, just to say the least. Instead of providing information on the situation, Kelly resigned. An EPA statement on Kelly's departure said, made by Pruitt said, Kell has served in a way that puts the needs of the American people and communities first. We're respecting the work committed to by responsible parties. He has helped the EPA professionals find solutions to moving language sites down the path to cleanup, including San Janito in Texas, Portland Harbor in Oregon, and Westlake in St. Louis. So, I mean, yeah, I really doubt he was a very big contributor in all of those things. But nevertheless, he is gone. That's an important thing. The other important thing is that Scott Pruitt gets gone next. And then hopefully Trump, and this is the real unlikely part, hopefully that Trump nominates someone who's conscionable for EPA head. So there is that we can all hope for in 2018. All right, that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much, and I'm going to get out of the show while I still can.
Say hello to Dunkin's new honey vanilla flavored lattes. Brighten up your day with delicious, rich espresso, flavored with floral notes of honey and a sweet little hint of vanilla. It's like the sun just came out. Spring is in the air. Time to put a little sun in your cup. It's Dunkin's new honey vanilla flavored latte. Get yours hot or iced. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Today's sales leaders face a difficult task, selling the right products at the right time through the right channels. A new 3-day program from Harvard Business School Executive Education addresses this problem directly. Join us on the Boston campus in August for Managing Sales Teams and Distribution Channels, where you will discover strategies that can lead to the best sales performance. Learn more by clicking the banner or visiting hbs.me/sales. That's hbs.me/sales.